Hello, welcome fellow responsibly armed Americans. My name is Tim Schmidt. I'm the president and founder of the United States Concealed Carry Association, sometimes known as Tactical Tim. Welcome to this week's video. As you can tell, I've got a few guests here, and I'm actually very excited about this discussion/interview that we're going to do. For those of you who watch all of my videos, you probably remember these two guys. It would have been, when was the last time we did the video?
I think in July.
Yep. In July. So July of last year, I should probably introduce them, Tom Voss and Anthony Anderson. And these are the guys that literally walked across the country from Milwaukee to Santa Monica, essentially to raise money for the Dry Hooch organization that's headquartered in Milwaukee, as well as to raise awareness for veterans issues, and ultimately to help them deal with their own crap. These guys are military vets themselves.
Correct.
And so guys, first of all, thank you for your service. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But just to kind of give a quick recap, so how did we even get hooked up with these guys? One of our employees, Brandon, he works in the Member Services Center, and Anthony and Brandon served together.
Yep.
So that was the initial connection, and Brandon's like, hey, these guys are considering walking across the country, can you help them out? And so I thought, hey, this is fantastic, let's do it. And so here it is. They actually did the whole trip.
We did it, yeah.
And how much money did you guys raise?
We actually hit our goal, so we raised about $105,000. So
wow.
That's hit our mark.
That's amazing. $105,000. And so I guess guys, I would like to, I know that our viewers would, they want to hear all the stories. They want to hear the highs and the lows. And but I guess before we get into that, can you guys, why did you do this?
At first, how it kind of started was I called Anthony up because I asked if he had a rucksack. I was planning on walking across the country to meet up with a guy that I deployed with out in Santa Barbara, California, my buddy Emmett. Called up Anthony, asked if he had a rucksack I could borrow. He asked for what for. I told him what I was planning to do, and I wanted to do it to kind of decompress from deployment that I had, and he said he was in the same boat and wanted to know if he could come along. I said sure. He then said, why don't we turn it into a fundraiser for Dry Hooch and kind of do an awareness campaign with it. So we used the opportunity to educate communities about what's facing the veteran community today.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so when was the official? When did you guys leave?
August 30th was our start date.
Okay, and then you wound up in Santa Monica on what day?
February 1st. Yep.
February 1st. Wow. And so roughly how many miles did you walk?
Around 2,400, yeah. I think it came out to.
Wow. Our original plan was 2,700 miles, but southern Colorado, we got there one day, it was 60 degrees, the next day it was 4. Walking in 4-degree weather isn't a big deal, but those stretches were sometimes 30 and 40 miles between towns.
Wow. And
the nighttime lows were well below 0. So we had to take a ride, which shortened the trip to about 2,400, but I still think that's a pretty good distance.
Yeah, I would say that definitely qualifies as legit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. So just what would you say? What was give me some stories? Like what was the biggest, like the toughest thing that you had to go through, or maybe one of the most interesting stories that you can share?
Well, I think for toughest things that we had to go through initially, there was a lot of physical obstacles. Like we had practiced walking to get ready for this, like on the trails here in West Bend and around. But nothing really prepares you for doing it day in, day out, except for doing it. So in the beginning, we had heat, we had physical issues, we got a lot of blisters. Our feet basically just completely flipped on us. Once we got about halfway, it was no longer a physical thing. Like our bodies were conditioned, we were good to go. For me, at least, it was more of a mental thing. Like I was ready to start to go home,
right?
Especially after Denver, especially after the halfway point. So I think that was probably the most difficult thing for me, was finding that ability to be in sync with both my mind and my body. On those days when you would crush miles.
Yeah.
25 miles is nothing. It's funny because now that we're back, we talk about going for a walk and someone says, how far are you going to go? And you're like 12, 13 miles. and they look at you like their eyes get big, and
Yeah.
it's like, it's really nothing.
Right.
Just go do it in 3.5 or 4 hours, and you're good to go.
Wow.
I think for interesting stories, we met a lot of really cool people, but one guy that we met out in Colorado, he found us on the side of the road, didn't know who we were, what we were doing. We just looked like backpackers to him. He was our age, and he ran his own ranch for his family. And so he let us stay by him for 2 nights. He just asked us to kind of help him out around the farm, around the ranch. So we had to help him kind of wrangle up an injured bull on his property, help him fix fences, just different stuff like that, which is kind of an experience.
So you kind of had to earn your keep.
Yeah,
and
a little bit, yeah.
But it's those things, it's those experiences that are kind of within the experience of the trek that I think really make it special for both of us, beyond the distance that we walked, beyond all the details that everyone knows. It's those people that we met and those kind of isolated incidents that are really what make it valuable to us.
Wow. So we were sitting up in my office before we came down here to film this video, and the thing that blew my mind that Tom and Anthony explained to me was that, so here you guys raised $105,000, you know, for this fundraising event, yet how much of that did you use to actually do the walk?
Not very much.
None
of it.
Yeah. I mean, when we did use it, I mean, it was for emergency purposes, like if we had blown out shoes or we needed a hotel and we weren't staying in 5-star hotels, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of it, you know, went to dry hooch.
I mean, to me, that's amazing. That's fantastic. I love the fact that's how you guys did this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And another, again, we were upstairs in my office, and you guys shared the story about how literally, like, almost most of the days you would come into a town, you wouldn't even know where you're going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, did that ever get comfortable? Or?
No, I mean, yeah, it's very, very uncomfortable and unsettling not knowing where you're going to sleep the next day. But we kind of got a system down where we would, you know, kind of judge how much sunlight we had left, and we knew what time we had to start, you know, looking for a place to camp if we needed to. So once we got, you know, kind of accepted the fact that we have no idea what's going to happen, you know, the next day, we just kind of rolled with it from there. We ended up staying in a few cemeteries, you know, off in some country cemeteries. So they were nice and quiet. So it was nice.
Out in the desert, in the Mojave Desert, we'd sleep 50 or 60 yards off of Old Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Just find a berm and get on the other side of it, and just kind of enjoy the silence of being out in the middle of nowhere when no one was there. But there were a lot of really good people that helped us too, that they'd follow on our website or on the social media stuff, and they'd say, I see you're coming through my town, stay at my house, take a shower, do your laundry,
And these are total strangers.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was the only people that we knew were the few that we stayed with in Wisconsin. Maybe we had some friends and some family in 2 or 3 other places, but otherwise they were complete strangers. The thing that was really interesting too was sometimes how these strangers were actually related to one another. So we went into a little town called Indianola, Nebraska, and went into a pizza shop that was owned by a woman whose ex-husband helped us when we were in New Mexico. We had no idea that they were related. They just both happened to be following us. One didn't tip the other one off to anything. We just told them about
people,
we just told them about this thing that we were doing, and we told him about Indianola, and he knew we had been in a pizza shop, and he's like, "That's my ex-wife's place."
Yeah.
So just little stuff like that, separated by 800 miles, you still find these people that know one another.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's next for you guys?
Well, we'd like to figure out how to take other vets out on these experiences, you know, of trekking. So we'll plan on trying to arrange some more treks in the future.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really beneficial not only to the people that experience a trek, but to those that welcome, the person back home. I think both of our families and our friends recognize a difference in both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only did it help us, but now by extension, it helps our relationships with them. And so it just kind of makes a lot of things better when we get back.
Wow. Guys, there's lots of people that come up with ideas and have grand plans, and ultimately there's very few people that actually follow through and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to tell you guys that I really admire the fact that you guys had the guts to go through this whole thing. I know that you've personally helped yourselves, not to mention thousands, if not tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of other vets. And yeah, I mean, congratulations, guys.
Well, thank you very much.
So, very good. I guess.
And thank you too for your initial contribution from USCCA. That was kind of the spark that started the donation.
The fundraising effort, yeah. I mean, it really took us over the edge with fundraising, so thank you.
Excellent. Oh, my pleasure, guys. All right. I guess that's the end of the interview, guys. Tom Voss, Anthony Anderson from Veterans Trek, and I can't tell you how much I love working with these guys, and I really admire and honor them. And so hopefully you like this interview, and stay tuned for next week's Tactical Tim video. Take care and stay safe.